Welcome to Teaching Mastery Academy, the podcast that equips course creators with the tools, insights, and strategies to teach with confidence, create real impact, and become the go-to experts in their industries. I'm your host, Francesca Hudson, CEO of the Classic High School Teacher and Teaching Mastery Academy. If you've ever felt that your content is powerful, but you're not reaching your audience the way you want, or if you're ready to master the art of teaching and elevate your courses to new heights, you're in the right place, my friends. Each episode, we'll dive into the science of how people learn, explore innovative teaching methods, and uncover the best ways to transform your knowledge into engaging, life-changing experiences for your students. Whether you're just getting started or you've been in the game for years, I'm here to help you craft lessons that resonate, connect with your audience on a deeper level, and ultimately create the abundance and the success that you deserve. Are you ready to become the best teacher in your field? Then let's get started. Hey, welcome back to Teaching Mastery Academy. I'm Francesca Hudson, your go-to gal for all things course creation. Today, we are diving into a juicy topic that I know so many of you struggle with. It's how to actually finish your course without feeling like you're running a marathon that never ends. Oh my goodness. And if you're anything like me, I am not a good runner. So we don't want you to get into that boat. So here's the problem. You've got the idea. You've maybe even started creating some content, but you're spending way too much time trying to make every detail perfect. I'm guilty of this. I am an absolute perfectionist in everything, and I really need to rein it in, especially when it comes to things like course creation. This might sound like you because I have certainly been in this position where weeks turn into months, and instead of celebrating a launch, you're stuck tweaking Module 3 for the 7th time. I remember when I launched my very first digital product back in 2013, it was Teach Aid English Literature Worksheets. And I spent an entire year refining and crafting and making sure everything looked perfect. The website was perfect. The layout of the PDFs were perfect. Everything that I could possibly think of, because I didn't have enough confidence to just simply launch it and test it and see what the market feedback was like. So does that sound familiar? Because here's the deal. Creating a course doesn't have to take forever. You can cut your course creation time in half without sacrificing quality. Yes, I said half. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to do it with my proven 7-step framework that I came up with for myself, because I realized that I was going to be at retirement age before I had even launched a digital product at the rate that I was going. And my husband was getting very, let's say impatient as to when I actually would be launching this product that I had worked so hard. And he wanted to see me get a return on all the hard work. I think if that sounds like you, then you are going to get a huge amount of benefit from this 7-step framework that I've got to share with you today. And by the end of this episode, you will walk away with a crystal clear plan to get your course done faster while keeping the quality top notch. Because we are all about quality here at the Teaching Mastery Academy. No more endless tinkering for you, my friend. No more waiting for everything to be perfect. Let's get your course out into the world where it can actually help people. So grab a notebook, or hey, just open up the Notes app on your phone and let's get started. So step 1 is to start with the end in mind. And I'm kicking things off with a little bit of tough love here. If you don't know exactly where you're going to waste a ton of time wandering in circles. And this is why you must start with your transformation target. Now, this is the one clear, specific result that your course is going to deliver to your audience. Not 5 results, not a general improvement. You are going to pick one transformation target only. So let me break this down. Imagine your course is a GPS and your transformation target is the destination you're programming into the system. Without it, you're going to be driving around aimlessly, hoping that you stumble upon where you want to go. But if you nail this, then your whole course transforms. And here's how to nail it. ask yourself, what is the one big problem that your students are trying to solve? Okay, so ask yourself that question. What is the one big problem your students are trying to solve? And then ask yourself, what does success look like for them? Always think about what they are going to get out of this course, what they are going to get out of this relationship with you that you are creating, this community that you're creating. So, for example, let's say you're creating a course on, let's say, budgeting. So, a week transformation target might be learn to budget better. Okay, that's vague and uninspiring. Learn to budget better. It doesn't really tell us anything. It's not really going to motivate anybody. So instead, we could try this. By the end of this course, you'll have a personalized budget that helps you save $500 a month without giving up your favorite coffee runs. Oh, how good is that? See how much more specific that is. When you define your transformation target, you're not just setting a goal for your students, you're creating a roadmap for yourself. Everything you build into your course should lead directly back to that result. And I'll say that result again. By the end of this course, you'll have a personalized budget that helps you save $500 a month without giving up your favorite coffee runs. You are immediately refined down. We've got a very crystal clear target, $500 a month, and we're doing it without the pain. People are still able to enjoy something that they love, for example, their favorite coffee run. So we are appealing to our audience that we know well, that we know like the back of our hand, because when you're researching your niche, when you're researching your course ideas, you need to know who your audience are, how they think, how they act, how they behave, and what is it that will motivate them. Okay, so let's move on. Let's look at step 2. We're going to build your content blueprint. So now that you've nailed your transformation target, it's time to map out how you're going to get your students there. And this is where your content blueprint comes in. Think of your course like a journey, and your students are starting at point A, right at the very start. And your job is to get them to point B, which is your transformation target we just talked about. Now, along the way, there are key milestones that they need to hit. And these milestones are going to become your modules. So here's an example. Let's say your course helps people start a podcast. So the milestones might be something like this. And let's say we will do 4 milestones. So milestone 1 could be choosing the right podcast topic. Milestone 2 could be setting up your recording equipment. Milestone 3 could be planning your first 10 episodes. And then milestone 4 could be publishing your podcast on major platforms. So each milestone is a module, and each module is broken down into bite-sized lessons that walk your students through what they need to know and what they need to do. Now, don't overcomplicate this step. If you find yourself thinking, maybe I should add another module about advanced editing techniques, stop. Ask yourself this. Does this directly help my students achieve the transformation target? If the answer is no, cut it. Simplicity is your friend here. And I know that it is tempting to put every single thing that you can think of that's going to help your audience, that's going to help your students into your course. But the thing is that you are solving one problem. You are being very specific with your transformation target. You are solving that problem and you are solving it well. Remember, quality over quantity. There are plenty more opportunities for future courses or for upgrades or for bonuses once you've got your foundational course established, but don't run into the temptation of throwing everything into one course. So remember, always link your module creation back to your transformation target. If the answer is no, then cut the module. So then we move on to step 3, which is to adopt the MVP mindset. And this is where things start to get real. One of the biggest reasons that course creators get stuck is because they think the first version has to be the final version. Spoiler alert, it doesn't, and it most probably won't. In fact, I am absolutely confident that it won't. And I'll tell you why. Let's talk about the minimum viable product, MVP mindset. This concept comes from the tech world, right? But it is a total game changer for course creation as well. And here's what it means. Your first version of the course only needs to include the essentials to deliver the promised transformation. That's it. No extra bells and whistles, no obsessing over fonts in animations, just the core content that's going to solve your student's problem. Now, why is this? Well, it's because the goal of your first launch isn't perfection, it's validation. You're testing your idea, you're getting feedback, and you're learning what works. And you can't improve something that doesn't exist. So remember that you can't improve something that doesn't exist yet. If no one's bought your course, then it isn't actually a viable course yet. There's no point refining and polishing a course that hasn't sold. So focus on getting your MVP out the door, then refine it later based on the actual student input that you get. That's when you can go back and start polishing it, making the fonts look pretty and making the thumbnails for your modules stand out and all the rest of it. But until you've actually had proof of concept, proof of product, people are willing to pay for it, then there's no point wasting all that extra time. And in fact, the way that I create my courses is that I don't even build the course until I've had the first round of students sign up to it. And then I know that it's a viable product. All right, so now we're up to step 4 in the process, which is batch your creation process. So let's talk about the ultimate productivity hack for you here, batching. Now, batching is all about grouping similar tasks together so you can stay in the zone and work more efficiently, as we know. But I want you to think of it like meal prepping. So instead of cooking every meal from scratch, you will prep everything in advance and just assemble it when you're ready to eat. I love this. And here's how it works for course creation. Here's how I use it in my course creation. And there's 4 steps that I use. So step 1 is start with the outlining. So dedicate a day to mapping out all your modules and your lessons. And I normally do that on a Monday. In fact, you can do this sort of for the days of the week. This is how I work it. And then step 2 is move on to scripting. So write the scripts for all your lessons in one go. Step 3 is to record everything. So block out a day or 2 to film all your videos. I normally do it on a Thursday because that's when I go to the hairdressers and I get a blow dry and I glam up. It's my glam day. And I get all of my video content done on that particular day. And that means social media content. It means lead generation content, lead magnets, YouTube videos, or it could mean actual course creation. If I'm recording a lesson or I'm recording a module, I will get it all done on that day. And then step 4 is edit and upload. So once all the videos are recorded, edit and upload them in batches. Now, the key is to avoid jumping back and forth between tasks. So when you batch, you're not switching gears constantly, which saves time and mental energy. And as I say, you can map this out as days in the week, or you can do it in some sort of a calendar or some sort of a daily thing. It's up to you. I would definitely break your content creation into these 4 steps. So that's outlining, scripting, recording, and then editing and uploading. All right, okay, so step 5 is all about automation. And this is your new best friend. We are going to automate wherever and whenever we can. Because here's the thing, not everything in your course creation process needs your personal touch. And there are so many tools and systems and support people out there that can handle the repetitive stuff for you, as you know. But sometimes it's a little bit scary to actually take that step and ask for help. When you're working on something that's so close to you, it's like your baby, and you feel like you're the only one that can know what to say or know what to write or know how to structure something on the page. And it's really hard sometimes to delegate. As entrepreneurs, delegation can be a really hard thing for us because it means that we're giving up control. We're handing the reins over to somebody else. And so I've got some examples of how you can automate without feeling like you're going to lose control over things. And the first way is to use templates. So you can use templates for your slides, for your emails, for your worksheets. So places like Canva and Google Slides are lifesavers here. In Canva, you can copy and paste. You can look at branding colors. You can have like a set amount of fonts and colors and logos that you can upload. And then that's like your default go-to templates. You can also use project management tools like Trello, or I use Monday.com to keep track of your progress. And these project management tools are a really good idea, especially if you're beginning to look at getting in a virtual assistant, a VA, or somebody else to join your team, because they're all cloud-based project management systems, which means you can talk to each other. I have VA assistants in the Philippines, And we all communicate via monday.com. We can upload things on there. We can talk to each other. We can create updates. We can see the progression of tasks that have been done. We can improve things. We can thumb things up, thumb things down. It's just a really cool interactive way. You can have the app on your phone. And it basically means that you can have an office from wherever. If you're traveling around the world or you're sitting on a beach somewhere, you can just do a quick 5-minute update on your project management tool and then pick up your book and carry on reading. So look into project management tools because they are really, really effective for organizing your notes, storing all your information, and then when you are ready to get additional help, then it's a great communication tool as well. And the third tool that you can use is automate your video editing with tools like Descript. I love Descript. I use it all the time. I use it for my podcasts. I use it for my lessons. I use it for anything that involves either audio or video editing because Descript can cut out filler words and can clean up the audio in minutes. And it's just so easy to use for somebody like me who's not tech savvy. So I would highly recommend looking at a video editing tool like Descript or another one that will work with various platforms. And also remember that if there's something that you're just no good at, like graphic design or video editing, then do consider outsourcing. Remember that your time is best spent on things that only you can do, like creating content, like this podcast, and connecting with your audience. So the things that you can outsource, try and outsource it, even if it's through a very cheap and cost-effective means, such as automation tools like Descript, which you still have to use yourself to a certain extent, but you are cutting down the editing time in half. Or look at the Philippines place that I use for virtual assistants. It's called onlinejobs.ph, and they have got so many different skill sets and talented people on there that are willing to help you and willing to work for however many hours or whatever the criteria is that you set. So I will link that in the show notes as well for you. All right, so step 6, let's move on to step 6. So we want to set a deadline and stick to it. So I can't stress this one enough. Deadlines are non-negotiable. And here's the thing, when you don't set a deadline, perfectionism will creep in. It will creep in, I promise you, and it will sabotage your progress. You will find yourself endlessly revising, rethinking, and redoing things that were perfectly fine to begin with. So pick a launch date and reverse engineer your timeline from there. So for example, if you're launching in, say, 6 weeks, plan to finish scripting by week 2, filming by week 4, and editing by week 5. And here's my tip to ensure that you keep yourself honest and stick to that deadline. Share your deadline publicly. Tell your email list, post it on social, or announce it to your accountability buddy. When other people are expecting your course, you'll feel way more motivated to stick to your timeline. It works like a charm. So set a deadline, stick to it, and post the deadline date publicly. And then step 7 is celebrate the progress. So this is a really important step and it's so overlooked, especially if you're someone who tends to focus on what's not done yet. Course creation is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed if you're only looking at how far you still have to go. This is why it's so crucial to celebrate the small wins along the way as you go. Have you finished outlining your content blueprint? Celebrate. Or have you recorded your first video? Well, then celebrate, my friends. Or how about uploaded your course to your platform? Celebrate. I even do little mini celebrations during the day. I'll sit down for an hour, record a podcast, and then I'll get up and make a drink and really celebrate the fact that, yes, I have achieved this. I have recorded my podcast for the day. I can tick it off my list. So you can celebrate in so many different ways, even if it's just to yourself, even if you're just giving yourself a mental pat on the back. But these little milestones build momentum, and momentum is what keeps you moving forward. Plus, it's way more fun to acknowledge how far you've come instead of obsessing on what's left to do. I am a very glass half full type of person, and so I will always look at what I've achieved and then just take the next little piece as it comes, rather than looking at the whole mountain that I've got to climb. Just take it step by step, day by day, piece by piece, and have those little micro moments where you celebrate what you've just achieved. It really does build momentum, and it will help keep your confidence and morale high, especially in those times when maybe you're not making sales yet, or maybe you haven't got your email list up yet, or things are a little slow to get moving or to get off the ground. Really focus on what you have achieved to date and think, okay, I've done this, so what can I do next? Anything's possible. All right, so let's do a quick recap on these 7 steps because we covered quite a lot of ground today. So, step 1 was start with your transformation target. Super important. Really, one specific transformation that you want your course to have achieved for your audience. So, your transformation target, step 1. Step 2 is to build a clear content blueprint with milestones. So, you want to have a little series of milestones from the starting line that your audience starts at to the transformation target, and these will become your modules. Step 3 is to embrace the MVP mindset and get it done, not perfect. Let's test your idea. Let's see if it's viable. Let's see if people are interested and willing to pay for it, and then we'll polish and refine it later. And then step 4 is to batch your tasks for maximum efficiency. So we talked about breaking them down into maybe a day of the week each or a time frame each and really batch them. So do your scripting and then do your recording and then do your editing on separate days or at separate times. And then step 5 is to automate or outsource where you can. So knowing where and when in your business, no matter what stage you're at, even if it's just you, working out what you can do to work more efficiently. Can you automate things? Can you outsource them? Look at what can be done to make your life easier. Really spend some time researching and investing into that whole area of your business because time is money and time is energy. And then step 6 was set a deadline and stick to it like glue. So remember, we talked about coming up with a deadline, reverse engineering your workload back from that date, and then releasing that date publicly so that you have to stay accountable to that because it's public, people know about it. And then finally, step 7 was celebrate every step of the journey, even the small wins. Because if you're not celebrating along the way, then you're not really having much fun. And you're going to burn out a lot quicker if you're not enjoying this process. If it's lost its ease and it's lost the sense of whimsy and being fun for you, then suddenly you're losing your freedom along the way. So really take time to enjoy the process, celebrate the small wins, and reflect on how far you've come. Even small steps are steps further along the track than what you were yesterday. So celebrate them. So now it's your turn. Which of these steps are you going to tackle today? Don't overthink it. Just pick one and make a start. And hey, if you want to dive even deeper into streamlining your course creation process, join the waitlist for Teaching Mastery Academy. It's where I share all of my insider strategies to help you create and sell courses that truly transform lives. We go deep into course creation. We don't just talk about how to build a funnel and how to market it. We look at the actual nuts and bolts of a quality course. How to structure a course, how many modules to include, what should you use in your lessons, what techniques will you keep your audience engaged, what techniques will help your audience get the most transformations from what you've promised them. And it's all about building quality courses so that you can charge more. If you've got a really highly engaging, highly converting, quality course that people are raving about and suddenly you're becoming the go-to in your industry, you can start to really look at premium pricing because your course is quality. So we go through all of that in Teaching Mastery Academy. The doors are currently closed, but we do have a VIP waitlist open. And if you would like to join that VIP waitlist and receive some exclusive bonuses and content trainings, then sign up. I'll put the link in the show notes, but you can also go to theclassichighschoolteacher.com/TMA. That's T for teaching, M for mastery, A for academy. I'll say that again, theclassichighschoolteacher.com/TMA. So that's it for today. Until next time, keep creating, keep serving, and remember, your audience isn't waiting for perfect. They're waiting for you, my friend. Until next time, bye for now.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Teaching Mastery Academy. I hope you walked away with actionable insights and new ideas that will elevate your teaching and help you create courses that truly resonate with your students. If you enjoyed this episode and want to keep the momentum going, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a beat. And if you found value in today's conversation, I'd love it if you could leave a 5-star review. It helps other course creators like you discover the show and join this amazing community of educators. For more tips, resources, and exclusive content, make sure to click on the link in my show notes. I've got a ton of freebies and tools waiting for you. You can also follow me on Instagram at Teaching Mastery Academy for daily inspiration and behind-the-scenes updates. Remember, my friend, becoming a master teacher is a journey, and I'm here with you every step of the way. Until next time, keep teaching, keep creating, and keep changing lives.